What's up guys, it's Dem here, and I had a submission from someone called RockTouching, and by submission I mean a comment on my previous video about DNS tunnels, and this is the kind of person I like, people who think outside of the box and ask questions. So I'll just read out your comment, it'll be on your screen. Okay, thanks, I got one more question. I want to set up a DNS tunnel server for my friends, but I don't want to give them SSH credentials / keys, which is perfectly understandable if I were setting up a public one. Or so obviously with SSH, if it's on your network, you're giving people full access to your network through tunnels and stuff like that, so you want to reduce the risk to yourself. And if you're renting a VPS, you don't really want people hosting stuff on there on your dime almost. So I saw somewhere that there was a way to relay to a public proxy, but the data won't be encrypted like SSH, obviously. And yeah, obviously. Any idea on how to do that, even if it's not possible? Well, I started thinking about this question, and in the config of DNS TCP, when you set resources, you actually set an IP and a port, and I thought, what if I put in the port of a public public proxy? So I haven't actually tried this yet, so this is going to be a learning experience for me as well, but it should be pretty cool. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to have to move this microphone. I always put it in the wrong place to start off with, but oh well. If I'm just going SSH into the server which is hosting the DNS tunnel which I use, obviously this is going to be covered up on your screen. And this is actually a gateway SSH server. So from here I've got SSH into I think it's there, yeah. Would help if I could type. Okay, so I'm into here. So TCP to DNS is currently running in here, so I'm actually just going to go ahead and kill that. And most of the time the way I do that is I just do top, and then as you can see I've got 483 there, which is DNS to TCP, and I'll just kill 483, and then DNS to TCP is no longer running. What we're going to do now is, I will mention now I have actually kind of played with this, but I couldn't go anywhere because I was logged into the tunnel from college, and to get on SSH in our college, on the normal computers you have to use the tunnel. So I was messing about with resources, and I was like yeah, I'm not going to be able to restart DNS TCP, so I'll lose my connection altogether. So I thought I'd leave it until now. So I'm just going to nano into the DNS TCP config, and as you can see I've put this proxy resource here, and that IP there is just a public proxy that I've got on hidemyass.com, and IP port, and I've just selected one for my area. So if I just type in U a bunch of times, I end up with United Kingdom, update results, and yeah, I think it is that one that I've got, I'm pretty sure, yeah, 109.123, yeah. So I don't know if that proxy is actually up or not. I better check that before I start. This is going to be a pretty long video, guys, because I'm just experimenting here, and I just want to see if this works, because if it does, this is going to be a much more real world application, because you don't want to give people free VPSs essentially if you're going to be giving out login details. I mean, you could give them unprivileged accounts, but obviously you can do privilege escalation and stuff like that, and you end up with a lot of unhappiness. So if I just check if this proxy is working, which I don't think it is. I know why it ain't working, because I've got that in as a SOX proxy. Herp. It's a HTTP proxy. I done did a herp. Yeah, that's working now, I think. Yes, I think. Yeah. That's definitely on a proxy, and it's actually come up as a proxy right here. So at least we know that proxy is up, because if I'm going ahead and messing about with loads of proxy settings, and then I'm like, oh, it ain't working, and then it turns out the main problem it wasn't working was that the proxy was down, then I'll be mad. So we've got that proxy set up in there, and it could not be easier to add extra resources, guys. It's just the name of the resource. You don't have to actually put any. You could put anything you want in here, so I'll just put fun. Yeah, why not? And then the IP address and the port that you connect to. So my theory is that with the DNS tunnel, this will just pass all the requests coming in on the DNS tunnel towards that proxy. And that's the theory. So if I start up DNS to TCP again, so DNS to TCP, TAC F, and then we'll go to the DNS to TCP config, DNS to TCP, D, I always forget that bit, demo. Okay, that's now running, I think. So if I just go ahead and try and connect to this now, I won't use the command line tools because those already have settings in which I don't want to mess with. If I CD to desktop and then CD to guys tunnel. By the way, that's the name of the person who hosts this server, so yeah, you can give him a big high five. High five, yeah. dir. So we need to use DNS to TCP C, TAC Z, and we'll just see what's on that host. Have I done this wrong? Yeah. Sorry about Facebook sounds, guys. I did ask people to not message me, but whatever. Okay, so fun seems available, which is good. So if we set a local port of 1337, and then we'll put TAC R as fun. Okay, so that should be listening on port 1337. If we just see if this works, so we can go to manual proxy settings 127.0.0.1. 1337. If this works now, guys, this is going to be a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be. Is it going to work? Oh, it is transferring. It's very slow over the DNS tunnel, and it does speed up from time to time. I don't know what actually does all of the what determines the speed, but yeah. It is bringing things through, and I can only assume that it's taking longer because it's going through the DNS tunnel, then going towards the proxy. So I'm pretty sure that that is working. In fact, if that's actually loaded at all, that's kind of proving it's actually working. If I just try and go to Google, shouldn't take too long to load Google, surely. I think I'm just going to have to assume that's working. Unless it's dropped out, I can't really tell. Connection refused. That doesn't sound good. If I just close this and see if it drops. Yeah. So if I just reconnect. I can only assume that was working there because that was actually loading. Then it says connection refused. So I don't know whether that's connection to the DNS tunnel has been refused, or don't really know. Is the DNS tunnel still running? Top. I don't see it. That's working. Yeah, I'm going to say that's working there. I'm just going to go ahead and say that that was just the remote proxy being very, very slow. Because that's definitely just loaded up there. Obviously through here it actually shows my real IP address, which I could, no, that isn't my real IP, that's the DNS Tunnels IP, so I'll have to cover that up. But that is definitely working, guys. It really is that simple. What I would recommend though, if you're not really wanting to protect your IP as much, if you're just wanting to get traffic flowing, is you could actually install Squid or another web proxy on the same host as the DNS to TCP, and then you can just nano into your DNS tunnel, and in here, instead of going to a remote address, you just type in 127.0.0.1 and then the port to your proxy. That way you don't need your login details, which was the main query, that you don't want to give away login details. And yeah, that works, guys. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I know it's been kind of experimenting, but experimenting has paid off. That works right there. I'm not sure what these connection refuses are. Is that right? Is that the right word? I don't know. But obviously if this was running on a local proxy, which I'm guessing that's what you're going to be setting up, I'm not really sure. But it is pretty simple to set up a web proxy, especially Squid. Squid would work really well with DNS tunnels, because if you don't know what Squid is, and if you do, I'll tell everyone else just for the sake of knowing. What Squid is it's actually a web caching proxy. So say if I browse to Google and then someone in the same day browses to Google, instead of going to Google and pulling the page each time, it'll store a local copy of it, so it'll load quicker. And obviously with a DNS tunnel you've got that speed issue, so if you had a Squid server running as well as your DNS tunnel, that'd speed it up quite considerably. So guys, hope you've enjoyed this video. Remember to leave some feedback, hit that like button below, it really does help me out, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.